I want to say this is the best I've ever played. I think I'm in a good moment, so I really hope to keep the momentum going.
Heart of gold. Teen tennis sensation Alex Eala stuns the world with a $300,000 donation after defeating an Olympic silver medalist not once, but twice. The tennis world tuned in expecting a routine exhibition match. What they witnessed instead was a moment that transcended sport itself. A moment so powerful it sent shockwaves across continents and left seasoned professionals wiping tears from their eyes in the stands. On a sun-drenched court in Melbourne, 19-year-old Filipina prodigy Alex Eala did more than defeat an Olympic silver medalist in front of thousands of roaring fans. She did more than confirm her status as one of the most electrifying young talents in professional tennis. She created a moment that will be remembered long after the scoreboards fade and the trophies gather dust. Standing at center court, still catching her breath, eyes glistening with emotion, Alex made an announcement that stunned the stadium into silence. She revealed that she would donate her entire $300,000 prize purse to organizations dedicated to caring for orphaned children around the world. Every dollar. Gone. Given away without hesitation. When reporters asked her how she could make such a decision so easily, Alex answered through tears that it was the easiest decision of my life. This was not a publicity stunt crafted by a marketing team. This was not image management or brand positioning. This was raw, unfiltered compassion from a teenager who somehow remained grounded while the world was beginning to bow at her feet. The reaction was immediate and explosive. Social media platforms lit up, and in some cases, struggled under the weight of millions sharing her story. Hashtags celebrating her generosity trended worldwide for 3 straight days. Fellow players, from Grand Slam champions to rookies grinding on tour, posted tributes calling her an inspiration. Fans launched fundraising drives in her honor. Major media outlets from Manila to Madrid splashed her story across front pages. Celebrities outside of tennis, actors, musicians, and humanitarian leaders joined the chorus of praise. This is how legacies are built. This is how athletes become icons. But what makes this story even more extraordinary is what came before the donation. Because before Alex could give away that fortune, she had to earn it. And she earned it by delivering one of the most dominant performances of her young career against one of the most accomplished players in the sport. Let's rewind. The Kooyong Classic in Melbourne, often described as the spiritual home of Australian tennis, has hosted legends for generations. Champions have risen here. Careers have been defined here. And this year, it became the stage where Alex Eala announced her arrival to the tennis world. Not with hype, but with ruthless execution. Across the net stood Croatian powerhouse Donna Vekic, an Olympic silver medalist, former Wimbledon semifinalist, 4-time WTA champion, and a veteran ranked inside the world's top 70. On paper, this was a mismatch. Experience versus youth, power versus promise. The final score read 6-3, 6-4. But those numbers barely scratched the surface. This was not a competitive exchange. This was a statement. For the second time in just 10 days, Vekic had no answers. None. Just days earlier, on January 6 at the WTA 125 ASB Classic in Auckland, Alex had already defeated her in a grueling 3-set battle. That alone would have turned heads. But doing it again on a bigger stage with more eyes watching removed all doubt. This was not luck. This was not a fluke. This was dominance. The first set was a masterclass in modern aggressive tennis. For years, critics labeled Alex as a defensive counterpuncher. That narrative was obliterated in real time. She stepped inside the baseline with fearless intent. She took the ball early. She redirected Vekic's pace with precision and confidence. Her left-handed forehand, honed at the Rafa Nadal Academy, painted the lines like a work of art. She broke serve twice. Each break ignited the crowd. When the first set ended 6-3, there was a growing sense that something special was unfolding. The second set showed why Vekic is an Olympian. She raised her level, served bigger, hit harder, and dragged Alex into brutal exchanges. At 4 games all, the tension was suffocating. This was the moment that separates talent from belief. Alex did not hesitate. She elevated. A backhand down the line screamed past Vekic for breakpoint, freezing her in place. The crowd erupted. The very next point, another backhand, this one cross-court with impossible angle and pace. Break secured. Alex served out the match with ice-cold composure. Game, set, match, 6-3, 6-4. And then came the moment that will echo far beyond tennis. During the post-match interview, instead of routine thanks and predictable soundbites, Alex looked directly into the camera and announced that she was donating her entire $300,000 prize money to charities supporting orphaned children. The stadium fell silent. Then came an ovation that seemed endless. Grown men wiped tears from their eyes. Veteran journalists struggled to keep composure. Understand what that money represents for a young professional tennis player. That is coaching, travel, physiotherapy, nutrition, recovery, security. For someone not yet in the elite top tier, $300,000 is not luxury, it is infrastructure. And Alex gave it all away without a second thought. That decision revealed who she is when no one is watching. In a world often cynical about athletes and privilege, a 19-year-old chose empathy over comfort. She saw orphaned children. She saw responsibility. She saw an opportunity to give, and she took it. Social media exploded. Heart of Gold trended globally for 72 hours. Millions who had never watched tennis shared her story. Fellow players praised her. The WTA called her a role model. A Hall of Famer said on air she had never seen anything like it in 3 decades of covering the sport. Alex Eala did not just win a match in Melbourne. She reminded the world what greatness really looks like. And this story is only beginning. Humanitarian organizations from around the world reached out to thank Alex, both publicly and privately. Orphanages that would directly benefit from her donation shared videos of children whose lives would now be changed because of her generosity. These were not abstract numbers or press releases. These were real faces, real stories, and real futures made brighter by one decision. The response quickly spread far beyond tennis. Celebrities from other sports and the entertainment industry joined in. A well-known actor tweeted that Alex Eala had restored his faith in the next generation. A musician revealed they were writing a song inspired by her act of kindness. A best-selling author published an essay on how athletes can change the world when they choose to use their platform for good. The ripple effect of Alex's decision was staggering, reaching corners of society that tennis rarely touches. To fully understand the power of this moment, you have to understand where Alex comes from and what she represents. The Philippines is a nation of more than 100 million people with a deep and passionate love for sports. But historically, tennis has never been the country's main stage. Basketball dominates the cultural conversation. Boxing produced legends like Manny Pacquiao, who became a global icon. Tennis was something Filipinos watched from afar, something that happened in Europe, Australia, or the United States. Alex Eala is changing that narrative entirely. She is not just a tennis player who happens to be Filipino. She is a national symbol of what is possible when talent meets opportunity and unwavering determination. She represents a breakthrough that many once believed could never happen. As she continues her run in Melbourne, there is growing speculation about a possible homecoming. The inaugural Philippine Women's Open is scheduled for late January, marking a historic moment for tennis in the country. The Philippine Tennis Association has already granted wildcard entries to Alex and her close friend, Indonesia's rising star Janice Jin. Imagine that scene. Alex Eala, fresh off a top 50 breakthrough and potentially a strong Australian Open performance, returning to Manila as one of the top players in the world. The atmosphere would be unlike anything tennis in the Philippines has ever experienced. It would feel less like a sporting event and more like a national celebration. If Alex decides to play, it instantly becomes the hottest ticket in the country. For young Filipino fans, especially children who see her as a hero, it would be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to watch her live, to witness the speed, the footwork, the intensity, and the tactical brilliance up close. It would be an inspiration that could spark the next generation of players and transform the sport locally. But Alex's story is also part of a much bigger global shift. The semi-final clash between Alex Eala and Wang Xinyu was not just another match on the schedule. It was a snapshot of the future of women's tennis. For decades, the sport was dominated almost entirely by American and European players. But look at the rankings now. China's Qinwen Zheng breaking into the elite, Wang Xinyu rising fast, Alex Eala representing Southeast Asia, Indonesia's Janice Jin climbing steadily. Asian tennis is experiencing a renaissance. These players bring a different energy and identity to the tour. They showcase discipline shaped by years of structured training. They display relentless work ethic, and they bring distinct playing styles influenced by diverse coaching philosophies. Wang with her flat, penetrating power. Alex with her Spanish-influenced heavy topspin and relentless fighting spirit developed at the Rafa Natal Academy. The WTA Tour is becoming more exciting, more unpredictable, and more globally representative than it has been in decades. And Alex is proudly leading that charge for Southeast Asia. When she steps onto the court, she represents not just the Philippines, but an entire region that has waited patiently for someone who looks like them, comes from their culture, and belongs on the biggest stages of tennis. That is an enormous responsibility, especially for someone so young. Yet, as we saw in Auckland, she carries it with grace, humility, and an infectious smile. So here is the final verdict. Alex Eala did not lift the trophy in Auckland. Wang Xinyu earned that victory fair and square in an incredible 3-set battle. Full credit to her. But when you step back and look at the bigger picture, Alex won something far more valuable than a trophy. She won the moment. She won the hearts of fans around the world. She won respect across the tennis community. And most importantly, she earned the ranking points that officially launched her into the top 50. That milestone changes everything. This is the graduation from prospect to established professional. She's no longer just one to watch. She has arrived. The semifinal loss may sting for a few days. That is human. But when Alex wakes up, checks the rankings, and sees her name at world number 49, that sting turns into hunger. Hunger to climb higher. To reach the top 40, the top 30, and eventually the top 10. Mike and Rizza raised a fighter. The Rafa Natal Academy refined that fighting spirit into a weapon. And now the tennis world gets to watch her rise. The kiss cam moment was adorable and went viral, but do not let the cuteness distract you from the truth. Alex Eala is coming for the very top of the sport, and she is bringing her family, her nation, and an entire region with her. Now I want to hear from you. What did you think of Alex's spontaneous kiss cam moment? Was it the most heartwarming scene of the season, or did her parents look ready to disappear? And more importantly, now that Alex Eala is officially a top 50 player, how far do you think she can go at the Australian Open? Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit the like button and subscribe to Champions Tennis for more stories that go beyond the scoreboard. Because here, we don't just watch tennis, we live it.